I'm gonna burn to death, aren't I? Okay, well. Hello guys, this is Spyderrock, and welcome to the More Gear add-on. This is an add-on by me. Yes, I've finally gone out and made my own add-on. Are you proud of me? No, probably not. Anyway, this is an add-on that adds in 4 new sets of gear, including armor, swords, axes, pickaxes, and shovels. I didn't add any hoes because I feel like a netherite hoe is already probably the best you can get, and it's probably a waste of your resources too, and I'm sure a bunch of jokes can be made there, but I'm kind of lazy. Anyway, in this video I'm going to show you everything that you need to know about the add-on in terms of like what these items are and what they do. I mean, they're pretty self-explanatory, but I'm also going to show you how to craft them because I tried to make it a pretty interesting and unique process. So make sure you stay tuned for a little bit for that. Also, a lot of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you aren't, please subscribe. Alright, the first set of stuff that this add-on adds is the Bone Crusher gear. Like I said, this consists of pretty much everything here, and it's meant to be 1 level above netherite, essentially. So it's like, oops, I think I just rotated something. It's meant to be like you're above netherite, you know, once you have had your netherite gear for a while, you're gonna try to do some stuff to get this Bone Crusher gear, which is kind of just like better netherite, to be honest. But yeah, it's pretty cool looking. I'm pretty happy with how the textures look. I put a lot of effort into these textures, probably more than any of the other textures. The sword does 9 damage. These all do a little bit more than, I think, just like 1 level up from the netherite gear. It's sort of like your step from netherite, or I guess from like, say, iron to diamond is from netherite to Bone Crusher. Alright, the second and third set of gear here go hand in hand, but we'll start with this one first. This is the Mechagear. So all of this gear is meant to be really, really good. Like, I'm talking miles better than the Bone Crusher gear. However, quite a bit more expensive, and you can't enchant it. This set of gear specifically is made so that it's insanely good but not enchantable. And that is where this other set of gear here comes in. This is the Mystic set of gear. All the Mystic gear here is extremely easily enchantable, more easily enchantable than gold and netherite and stuff. However, it's only like 1 step up from this Bone Crusher gear here. So I guess, for example, I can use the sword's damages as an example. So we have the Mecha Blade here, which does 16 attack damage, whereas the Evil Slayer, the Mystic Evil Slayer, only does 11. However, you can enchant the Mystic gear to essentially be better than the other gear. However, I think the Mecha gear here really takes the win when it comes to the pickaxe, because I'll go ahead and show you. If I go into survival and grab the pickaxe here, and then I'll grab this pickaxe too, I'll head over here to my base. Also, I would like to point out that these do mine everything that is pickaxeable, or at least I tried my best to find everything, because a lot of add-ons make it so you can only mine like stone and stuff with the pickaxes faster. With this add-on, I tried to make it so you could mine as much as possible. Anyways, this is the Mystic pickaxe, just a little bit better than Bone Crusher and a decent amount better than netherite. And now here's the drill, which mines things very quickly. However, like I said, you can't enchant this. So if you want fortune, if you want, well, I don't know what else you would want. I guess fortune, silk touch, you won't be able to get those on this Mecha gear, because the idea is that since it's like Mecha gear, it's mechanical, it's not meant to be enchanted, it's not enchantable, it's not natural in the way that other things are. I do feel pretty happy about this armor here. I've got like the mech suit in the Mystic armor, and you can see how the Mystic is kind of like bordered like that, and so is the Mecha gear. I tried to make them kind of similar in some senses because they look like, here, let me grab the Mystic boots just to show you. They look kind of similar, but they're different colors. Anyway, let's move on to the last set of gear. The last set of gear here doesn't really have a name. I'm calling it kind of like the top tier gear, I guess. All the tools have their own, and weapons, I guess, have their own unique names for this set of gear, because it's meant to be the top tier. It's meant to be the best of the best, and it is very good. It's better than the Mecha gear and more enchantable than the Mystic gear. And the armor is all, I called it power armor. I don't know. I was originally going to make this look like Fallout power armor, but I was kind of lazy, and so I just made it look purple and black, and I think that looks pretty cool, to be honest. And it's got like a little power core in the middle. The slasher, its sword does 25 attack damage. It can go up to 31 if you can get sharp 5 on it, and let me tell you, this sword is very cool and very fun to use. I'm also going to show you the Excavator here, which is the shovel, which is pretty much insta-mines whatever you need it to. Even if you go into water, it's still very quick, and I recommend getting like efficiency and stuff on it as usual. I don't know why my game's freezing a lot. That's just a thing that happens with my Minecraft when I record sometimes. And then of course the Jackhammer, which is the pickaxe of this set, is very good. It doesn't seem good because I'm in the water, but yeah, it's very good. It can insta-mine stone pretty much. And then the logger, which is the axe. It's like the chainsaw, which is part of this set here. I've got like the, I don't even remember all the names for it, but the slasher, the logger, the jackhammer, and the excavator, which are sort of respectively what they are. And this armor is really good, by the way. If I take off everything but the helmet, you can see the helmet alone does, what is that, 18 like half armors, or I guess 9 full armor things. The chest plate and boots, or chest plate and pants, both do your full thing plus some, and they do have a ton of knockback resistance. So if you're up against like anything that will knock you back, even having one of these pieces of armor on will be able to eat up all of that knockback, and you won't have to deal with any of that. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys all the processes that you need to know to craft these, because I tried to make it more interesting than just, oh, find a new ore and then make it. Alright, so the first set of gear we're going to be making here is the Bone Crusher gear. This is not very hard to make, but I'm going to go ahead and grab everything that we need to make it. So I'd recommend having bone blocks, netherite scraps, bottles of enchanting, gapples, leather, and sticks. So before you do anything, you're going to want to make some bone dust. You can make that by putting bone blocks inside of a stone cutter. You'll get one bone dust for 1 bone block. I didn't want to make it too cheap because it is actually pretty good and pretty useful in a lot of these recipes. So if I go ahead and head over here, you can see I can make some enchanted bone dust. Now this enchanted bone dust will be pretty expensive. It will cost you a gapple and a bottle of enchanting, and you will actually need quite a bit of it. So I'm going to use all of that stuff on making a stack of enchanted bone dust. I didn't want to make it too easy, but I didn't want to make it too expensive, and you can trade for bottles of enchanting a lot of the time. The next thing you're going to want to make is bone relics. These are sort of the ingot of the bone crusher stuff. It's going to cost you 4 netherite scraps as well as 1 enchanted bone dust for 1 bone relic. Now these bone relics you can craft with sticks to make pretty much anything except for the armor, which is where this leather comes in. You're going to want to make some tough leather. So you take your leather, you throw it into a furnace, and you'll make some tough leather. And I didn't realize how long that making tough leather would take. I forgot about the fact that, you know, furnaces aren't instant the way other crafting is, but you only need 1 piece of tough leather for making a piece of bone crusher gear. So I'm gonna go ahead and make myself a bone crusher chest plate, as well as make myself a bone crusher here. Let's make this sword. I just made 4 bone crusher swords on accident. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm looking pretty snazzy with this sword and this chest plate, and it is definitely better than netherite gear, but only a little bit better. I would love it if my game didn't freeze like that. Anyway, let's move on to the next set of gear. All right, the next set of gear we're going to be making is the Mechagear. For this, making this, you're going to need blocks of iron, iron ingots, netherite scraps, enchanted bone dust, a nether star, you only need 1, sticks, a pickaxe of any kind if you want, I guess, and access to bedrock. So I'll get to the bedrock in a second and you'll see what I mean. But in order to make this, the first thing that you're going to want to do is make yourself a Mecha Heart. That will cost you a nether star, 2 enchanted bone dust, and 6 netherite ingots. So it's pretty expensive. It's meant to be sort of like a nether star. I was originally going to make, I think I showed you guys this on stream. I think I was going to make like a mecha star out of a nether star, but I ended up doing a heart. I don't know. Anyway, make yourself a Mecha Heart. Then you're going to want to make a Mecha Converter with a Mecha Heart and 2 blocks of iron. That will make you a Mecha Converter. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to dig all the way down to bedrock level, although I probably could have beforehand, but you're going to want to have access to some bedrock down at the bottom of your world, and this is where things start to get a little bit dangerous. You're going to want to use your Mecha Converter on bedrock. That means, you know, interacting with it, right clicking it, left trigger, whatever, and it will turn it into mech rock. So it's this sort of like mechanized ore based bedrock kind of thing, and if you do 1, it will delete all of the bedrock from that point down. So when you break it, there will be theoretically, if you're underground, there will be a hole there going straight into the void. So you do not want to fall into the void. But I did that on purpose because I wanted it to be kind of a dangerous process. I only grabbed the pickaxe because it looks cooler if you're mining this. But I made it easy to mine with your fist since you can't actually like add breaking values to just like normal stuff, like normal pickaxes. Anyway, we got some mecha scales. Now these mecha scales are pretty important. So we're going to want to make some Mecha Ironite, which will cost you 3 netherite ingots, 3 iron ingots, and a Mecha scale, which are what you get from the Bedrock thing. Now, that's how you make Mecha Ironite. It's pretty expensive. As you can see, we don't even have enough to make a chest plate yet, but that is how you make the Mecha stuff. But the other thing you do, I did not mean to make those leggings, so I'm going to make some more Mecha scales with this here. There we go. Okay, we have what we need. Let's make a few more Mecha Ironite, because what we're going to need is tough sticks. You can make a tough stick with 2 netherite scraps as well as 3 sticks, and it will make you 2 tough sticks. And then that is how you make the Mecha tools and stuff. You need tough sticks and Mecha Ironite to make all of them. Most of the recipes should be here, but I just want to make sure you know how to get everything, and that's why I'm doing this little tutorial. All right, now we're on to the Mystic Gear, the counterpart of the Mechagear. So for making the Mystic Gear, you're going to need blocks of iron, blocks of lapis lazuli, enchanted gapples. You probably don't need a stack of them. You'll probably need like 1, I think. Enchanted bone dust, netherite scraps, a nether star, tough sticks, which I just showed you how to make, as well as access to lapis lazuli ore. You don't necessarily have to have it mined up, and I'm grabbing a pickaxe anyway too. So anyway, for making this, the first thing you're going to want to make is a Mystic Heart, which should show up here as well. This will cost you 2 enchanted gapples. Okay, that's what it is. 2 enchanted gapples, so pretty expensive, as well as 4 lapis lazuli blocks and 2 enchanted bone dust, and of course another star. Once you make that, you can make yourself a Mystic Converter, and I think you guys know where I'm going with this. So you'll want to find yourself some lapis in the world or mined up with a silk touch pickaxe or something, and you grab yourself a Mystic Converter. Now the reason I have outlines on the outside of the lapis, that's just part of my texture pack, so you can kind of ignore that. But you can convert the lapis into this very nice mystic ore, which you can't mine up with silk touch, I don't think. I don't have good names for them. I'm not very good at making blocks yet. That's still something I'm working on. But anyway, this process should be able to get you a decent amount of mystic shards. So for both the Mecha scales and the mystic shards, there is a 50% chance drop rate on mining the ores. And anyway, once you have all of that, it's pretty simple from there. You can just use those mystic shards to make yourself some mystic gear, as well as with the tough sticks. So we got ourselves a mystic evil slayer, and like I said, these are completely enchantable. So if you want to enchant them and have if you want to be more enchantment focused, I guess I would recommend the mystic gear. And the reason that they both cost a nether star is so you at least kind of have to choose, because I'm assuming most people will probably make a beacon first, and then you'll want to choose either, do I want to go Mechagear or Mystic Gear? Sorry, other way around. Because you can't really choose both unless you defeat the Wither again and get another nether star, and then each of these nether stars you use is kind of preventing you from making a beacon. Anyway, let's make the best gear. Alright, so in order to make this top tier gear, you're going to need a Mystic Converter, a Mecha Converter, a nether star, diamonds, netherite ingots, blocks of redstone, glass, as well as access to ancient debris. Now I can confirm this is not as easy as just crafting it with all these components, because there's a lot more that you're gonna have to do. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is make yourself an Astral Converter. You make the Astral Converter with a Mecha Converter, a Mystic Converter, and a Nether Star. That means you have to have basically made both Mecha and Mystic Gear, or at least have the access to make both of them. And that will make you an Astral Converter. Now this is where the Ancient Debris comes in. You're going to want to find yourself some Ancient Debris, just kind of sitting around the world. Yet again, this is part of my texture pack, so you can kind of ignore it. I'm not very good with directional textures, so I will warn you, these textures don't look very good. But anyway, use your Astral Converter on some of this, whatever it's called, ancient debris, and that will make you some of these blocks right here. Now you can mine these, I don't remember what I called them. I think they're called astral debris or something, but they will get you Astral Bait. Now this Astral Bait here is kind of the key to making the thing that you need to make the thing. It's kind of a process, but I tried to make it a process because I wanted to make it kind of interesting and a little bit more engaging to, to do all of this. I thought that was only fair. Anyway, once you've grabbed yourself a fair amount of Astral Bait, you can go ahead and make yourself some Astral Summoners. These are these little white squares here. I just thought it looked cool to have them look kind of like a void kind of thing. I don't really know. Anyway, you're just going to want to surround an Astral Bait with glass just like that, and you'll make yourself some Astral Summoners. Now these are pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and throw one down and show you what they do. So, yeah, let's see. If I go ahead and right click this, press this, interact with that, it will strike you with lightning, set it to night, and if you look up there in the sky, there's a little star. Now I'm burning because I forgot about the lightning and I struck myself with lightning. But we're gonna want to go up to that star, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw down a few more of these around here so we can get a few more of these stars, because these are the main important thing to getting this top tier gear. So we're gonna make, you know, I think that should be good. I'm just gonna go into creative for the sake of time and head up here, and then I'll go back into survival once I'm up there. However, you probably want like scaffolding or elytra to make your way up here and get these stars. Alright, I went back into survival. Now these stars all are mostly made out of glowstone, but as you can see, there is one block in the middle, and that little block in the middle here is the important thing you're going to need. That is how you get fusion cores. Do not lose these accidentally. Fusion cores, like you've just seen, are kind of expensive. I guess if you just use the converter, it's not really that expensive. But you're gonna want quite a few of these fusion cores. For every thing that you want to make, you're gonna need a fusion core. So let's say you wanted to make the whatever it is, the excavator, you're going to need a fusion core. Let's say you want to make the helmet for the power stuff, you're gonna need a fusion core. But I'm just gonna grab one more of these because we're not gonna be making too many things right now. But if you guys want, you're probably gonna want quite a few of them. I'm just gonna jump down here. I have keep inventory on, so how's it going? Alright, so I went ahead and grabbed some of the last two tiers of gear, because you're going to need basically anything for both of those to make this top tier gear. Because as you can see right here, we're going to be combining each of the items. So let's say we want the top tier sword, we want the slasher. You're gonna have to combine the evil slayer and the mecha blade with a fusion reactor, which is what I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to make now. So before you make the fusion reactor, you're going to need some plating. All this cost is 2 netherite ingots and 2 diamonds, so it's pretty expensive, I guess. But you're going to want to make quite a bit of this plating, because that's how you make fusion reactors. You're going to need to make a pants shape out of plating, as well as have fusion cores and blocks of redstone, and that will make you some fusion reactors. Now these are how you combine things. It's pretty simple. You just take your 2 old items and then your fusion reactor, and boom, you can craft this top tier gear. So I hope this was an interesting, should be an interesting experience for crafting this stuff. I tried to make it as interesting of a process as possible, so it's not just mundane mining and stuff like that. I mean, you kind of do have to do that to find like lapis and stuff for the supplies, but I tried to make it interesting, like, oh, there's stars and you have to go to the sky islands and, you know, mine the stars and craft the stuff. And I don't know, I just wanted to make it a little bit more fun and interesting than just a monotonous mining for a really rare ore kind of thing. Anyway, thanks for watching if you made it to here. I hope you enjoyed. There's a link in the description to download both the resource and behavior pack for this add-on, and I will be posting it soon to sites like MCPE, although who knows how long that's going to take. Anyway, thank you for watching if you made it to here. See you guys later. Join my Discord, and bye.